Hey, beautiful souls. Sonia B here with DR Holistic Healer. And I would like to say welcome back to my channel. I have a couple of quick prophetic messages. So take the messages that resonate and leave the ones that you feel like do not resonate, okay? Just know and understand any information that I'm giving you at this time is just confirmation to what you possibly already know, okay? So keep that in mind as well, too. For some of you guys, I've been divinely guided to reiterate this prophetic message. Some of you guys could be dealing with a situation of nervousness, okay? Nervousness of the unknown, of not knowing what to expect, especially for a lot of Pisces people, okay? So if you are a Pisces person, you have more like Pisces sun or whatever the case may be. And it's not just the fact of you being a Pisces period, but I've been picking up on their energy a lot of nervousness of the unknown and not knowing what to expect. But for other people who are not necessarily Pisces, it has a lot to do with not really knowing what's going to take place, what's going to transpire, what's going to happen. And almost like I just heard, you just having to wing it and go on faith. Okay. And this is what the Most High is requiring of us right now, because you have to realize that faith without works is dead. So therefore, if God is asking you to have faith about a situation, circumstances, or whatever it is that you may be dealing with, he could be testing you at this time. And he could be testing you because he wants to see, are you going to trust him? Are you going to trust him? Are you going to trust him? No matter what you may see, what may be going on, and what may be happening in your life. He just wants to know, are you going to trust him? Period. Okay. So anyway, so as I said before about the nervousness, some of you guys could be dealing with the situation of dealing with different ailments. Is just what I heard. Thank you, Spirit. Could be dealing with different ailments. Like when we experience different ailments, they have symbolism behind them. So usually this is the Most High trying to communicate with us and let us know that, hey, pay attention to this. This is something that you need to know because I'm trying to bring something to your awareness. Okay. And I just clearly heard, thank you, Spirit. Just clearly heard for some of you, it's about cleaning up your past. Some of you are meaning to clean up your past so that you can move forward. These last past, for those of you who have been on this journey since, I want to say like 2017 of August, basically when that eclipse had basically happened, some of you guys have became activated then. So some of you guys are not realizing, but some of you guys have had to revisit your past. Meaning, as an example, how does a person revisit their past? Let's just say people from your high school, people that you grew up with, people you played in the sandbox, or people from your old neighborhood. Maybe you may have reached out to them and you may have felt a sense of connection, a sense of home, a sense of comfortable being around those type of people, whatever. But some of you guys don't even realize that the Most High was actually sending you to your past so that you can heal it, so that moving forward, that you can kind of like dismantle, is just what I heard. Thank you, Spirit. Almost like so you can dismantle your past, because sometimes it takes for the Most High to allow you to visit your past so that you can heal whatever needs to be healed, because sometimes your past can have a hold on you, and sometimes when your past has a hold on you, it makes it hard for a person to move forward. Imagine, thank you, Spirit. Spirit just gave me an image of like, imagine somebody is in front of you and you grabbing their jacket and trying to keep them from moving forward. That's almost like what the past can do to individual people's lives if we have too much of attachment to it and we're holding on too tightly because we're coming from a traditional mindset, or we're coming from a mindset of, these are my peeps and, ride or die, or, we will always be friends. But you have to know and understand that the Most High is asking us to mature. He's asking us to evolve, and he's asking us to, step into maturity in a sense. And I say all that to say that sometimes people that you've had from the past, they can't move with you going forward because they have their own lessons to learn as well too. Okay. And just know and understand that they're not necessarily on the same level as you and have done the same amount of work that maybe that you have done. Okay. And not only that, but some of you guys don't even realize that if you even feel yourself having a little bit of conflict, even with people from the past, maybe y'all having a little bit of disagreement, maybe you might have asked for information or their input, and maybe you felt like, oh, but they're not giving me good advice, or, their advice sounds a little shady. But the truth of the matter is, people who are meant to be for you, you don't even have to question the fact of whether they sound shady, because it's not going to even come from a perspective of being more from, I just heard of coming from a place of low vibrational energy. Okay. So I say all that to say that doesn't mean that you have to, whether somebody's coming from high vibrational energy or low vibrational energy, you should just always use your intuition anyway. But the point of the matter is, it's a matter of just, sometimes you find yourself clashing with people because you're not seeing eye to eye, is just what I heard. And sometimes they're not on the same frequency as you. Okay. And sometimes that can cause conflict because people aren't on the same frequency as you. So anyway, the next message that I received was, so know and understand that I just heard that, know and understand that all of this inner work that we have all been doing, it has been for our own greater good. Okay. So I want to let you guys know that I heard yesterday, I heard Ja Rule's song, Giving It Up song. And the funny thing about that is I received the message this morning I was like, oh, okay. I went to read the lyrics on it. I was like, okay, it's a little raunchy or whatever the case. But I said, not my cup of tea or whatever. But obviously that was the Most High letting me know that's the type of energy that, people are dealing with in a collective or whatever. Okay. And I say, well, it may not, I think it's spirit, it may not apply to everyone, but it may apply to some, like something's being activated in their charts or whatever. Okay. So anyway, but like I said, it was the song Ja Rule, the song Giving It Up. You guys can go read it if you want. If you feel like it applies to you, then, there's a message. Okay. But anyway, so the message I received also this morning too was, this is about sexual energy. Okay. And this is just to let you know that there are some people actually kind of projecting at this time. So whether they're projecting intentionally or whether, thank you, Spirit, I just heard that whether you guys are sensitive in a sense, because if you're a Sagittarius, oh my God, like I just want to say, I'm not saying that Sagittarius are the only ones that's sensitive or whatever, but you have to find ways and means to protect yourself, protect your energy. What it doesn't matter, because if you're an empath, sensitive is sensitive. Empath is empath, okay? And it's a matter of protecting your energy in your aura field, from others people, so that you're not kind of like picking up on other people's stuff. So what it is like, it's like something's happening right now energetically where the energy is about sexual energy. Okay. And it's almost like, whether it's a sense of masturbation, I don't mean I have to say that, but I'm just saying, whether it's masturbation or whether it's whether it's a situation of a woman experiencing an orgasm, but there's nobody there with them in a sense, and they're in the comforts of their own home doing this. Be mindful, because again, it could be the energy that they just kind of picking up on surrounding them, or it could be a situation of somebody kind of projecting, is just what I heard as well too. So again, if you're somebody that's sensitive, you could just be picking up, with your little antennas, picking up on the collective's energy of what some people may be possibly dealing with. So just be mindful, because the truth of the matter is, okay, so let me just give it to you like this, because this is just what's coming to me. So sexual energy, sometimes you may be thinking that energy is coming from you, but it could be, again, coming from people within your immediate, environment, especially if you're someone stay in an apartment building, if you're someone that stay like kind of next door to people, like a townhouse or whatever the case may be, you can pick up on people's energy as well too. But mainly if you stay in an apartment building, you're picking up on everybody's energy if you're someone who is an empath. Okay. But anyway, so I say all that to say that if you find yourself experiencing this in a sense, let me tell you this. You got one or two ways to kind of handle that energy. You can find yourself having, dealing with the sexual energy while you're by yourself. This is not me encouraging anything. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give you a little solution. So when that happens, go do something artistic that helps you to channel that energy, when I say that, it helps you to redirect that energy. Go work out, go out in nature, go for a walk, go for a run, go exercise, go sing, go dance, go, do some art, go do yoga, do something that helps you to channel that energy and put that energy somewhere else. Because, this is something that some of us is not even quite aware of, because when people when they masturbate and when they have orgasms, and let's just say that you're alone and you're doing this, it's almost like people is taking that energy and they using it for themselves. Okay. So this is the reason why I'm telling you to redirect that energy if you're finding yourself dealing with that type of energy in a sense. Okay. If you find yourself getting a little hot and bothered or whatever, channel that energy somewhere else, redirect the focus. Because again, when a person masturbates or when a person takes in having orgasm, again, other people are out there using that energy energetically. Okay. Hence to say, if you guys have been kind of watching a situation with Sean Puffy Combs and his situation, him and the whole sexual energy that, people have been kind of talking about. It's kind of like that, using other people's energy. So I just wanted to give you guys heads up about that. So anyway, so that's a message for someone. So just be mindful of that, of wanting to channel it the correct way, if the energy is kind of presenting itself. Yeah, so the next message I received was that, okay, something about something falling. Oh, thank you, Spirit. There are going to be some people who experience in some situation. It's almost like where they're being exposed. So let's just say if you have like a curtain in your house, and it has nothing to do with your house, but this is just how the Most High was giving it to me. So let's just say that maybe if, okay, a curtain is meant to help protect you from allowing people to see within your house. So imagine those curtains falling on their own in a sense. So some of you guys are going to be dealing with the situation that where it's almost like God is going to kind of like be exposing some of you in a sense of just kind of like making you vulnerable of just being a feeling of vulnerability in a sense. So whether it's a situation of you feel like you're being exposed, it's almost like the Most High is trying to make you a little bit more vulnerable in a sense. Okay, get it more in tune and more in touch with your feelings and your emotions. Okay, because sometimes when people are not in their feelings and emotions, sometimes they're a little disconnected from reality a little bit. Okay. So the next message that I received was actually those are the message, but I just heard a minute ago. Oh, sorry, no, that's not the message. Some of you guys, the Most High is kind of showing you direction of where He wants you to go. You have to understand that on this journey, it's about, okay, it's about more so of giving to the divine's will. Okay, so at one point in time we was living our life up and we was doing things our way, but now it's coming to a point in time where God is asking us to mature again and change, and basically kind of like man up in the sense of, okay, you had all this time to do this, and that. Now I need you to do this. Okay. And I say all that to say that some of you guys, it's almost like your reality is going to shift a little bit, because where you thought you were going to be at for career wise, it's almost like you're going to find yourself having a reality check, because the Most High has you going in a totally different direction. So some of you guys, you may have built your life off, creating this life that you wanted and building yourself up to the point that you might end up finding yourself shifting to a whole new different career. Okay. So, and this may happen, I just heard this may happen gradually, and it may not happen all at once. For me, it kind of happened all at once, but I say all that to say, for some of you guys, it may just happen gradually. Okay. Anyway, so that is it for the messages, but let me give you this quick scripture that the Most High had kind of given me. I tell you, he'd be like right on time, right? So this is First Corinthians 51, okay? And it says, behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep. So this is where the Most High has been waking us up, especially if those of you who have been on this journey since August of 2017, okay? But it says, but we shall all be changed, okay? So the Most High is requiring us to change in a moment, in the twinkles of an eye, at the last trumpet. Okay, for the trumpet shall sound, which is so funny because in 2018, in the month of June, I actually heard the trumpet sound, and I was like, oh my God. I looked at my daughter, I was like, did you hear that? And my spouse at the time was on a computer, but he was like, what? And I was like, did you hear that? And he was like, I was like, they said, and he said, yeah, I hear that all the time. I was like, what? Like, that was my first time hearing that. And I was like really amazed, because I knew immediately when I heard that, that was like the trumpet. Okay. That was like the calling that God was calling people. Okay. Anyway, so it says, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Okay. And it says, for this incorruptible must put on the incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Okay, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Okay, so therefore we all have been going through a death and a rebirth phase. Okay, this doesn't mean that you're dying. So that video that I actually did on when I said that heaven, some people are knocking on heaven's door, I don't mean that you're about to pass away. Okay, for some people that might be the situation, but that does not mean that it's applying to all, because on this journey, basically a death and a rebirth is basically saying, God is saying that you have to die to your old ways, but you're being rebirthed, in in a new being, into Christ consciousness. So therefore, it's not like you dying into your old ways, is you doing things your way, of feeling like, okay, I done all this my way and that hasn't worked out. So now it's like you're dying to that old person, and then you're becoming a new person in how the Most High wants you to be, which is your true authentic self of who God intended you to be, because that is your birthright. Okay, so I say all that to say, and then it says, "O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin." Okay, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks to be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, behold, brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable. So yes, we have been having ups. We have been having ups and downs. We have been feel like we went to hell and came back. And just remember that always abound in the works of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your labors is not in vain in the Most High. Okay. And I say all that to say that, we're not doing this in vain. We can't necessarily see the outcome. For some, you may somewhat know what the outcome is going to be, but God is like, I just heard say, surprise me. He wants to surprise you. So therefore, he wants you to know just how good he is in a sense. So yeah, therefore, some people think that sometimes when we go through experience, oh, this is not God. God wouldn't give me all of this burdens and allow me to experience this and allow me to experience that. No, God said he wants to test you just to see how true and worthy that you are, just like he did Christ. Christ was tempted when he fasted. The devil was telling him, if you're the son of God, jump off this building and God will save you, when he was fasting and all that other stuff. So he was being tempted as well too, but therefore we're coming into our Christ consciousness. So just as he had experienced certain things, we too also have to experience certain things. This is a part of us carrying our cross. This doesn't mean that somebody's going to put you on a cross, although there are people out there who do try to sacrifice people in a sense. And I don't mean, for some, it could be, in a negative way or whatever the case may be. But, for others, this is why it's important to really just know and pay attention to the things that are going on around you, so that you'll be aware of, keeping yourself safe and protected. Okay. And y'all bear with me, because right now we're in Mercury retrograde, and I tell you, it affects communication. Okay. So anyway, so that is all that I have for you guys. But if I don't receive any other messages going into the new year, then hopefully you guys will have a safe new year. Just remember, going into the new year's, you want to have a new mindset. You want to have a new way of doing things. Oh, and I want to say this too, because it's being brought to my attention. Pay attention to the ailments, because like I said before, the ailments that you may find yourself experiencing, because these are messages and clues and synchronicities that the Most High is trying to communicate with you, of things that you need to let go of. Okay. So as an example, if you're someone who's experiencing a situation that your shoulder is bothering you, this is an example of like you're carrying the world's weight on your shoulder. Okay. Especially if it's your right shoulder. Okay. So that's something to be mindful of. That's something to be aware of, and needing to know that sometimes it is not your job to carry the world's weight on your shoulder. It is the world, individual people's job to put in their own inner work and do their own inner work. And it is not your job to save anyone. Okay. Jesus wasn't here to save anyone, other than the fact of, he was there he had his divine will. Okay. And it was more so of, it was more so of not necessarily saving people, but it was more so because he opened up the gateway for us to have grace through the Most High, in a sense. It's almost like we, in a sense, the Most High is requiring us as well too to also kind of experience that as well too. But we're not here to save anybody else. They're here to save themselves. Okay, just like Jesus had to carry his cross through the town before they actually put him on the cross, we are having to carry our own individual crosses as well too. Okay. So don't look at it from a negative perspective. And I'm only giving it to you from this perspective, because that's the way that I know how to give it to you, in a sense. But just know and understand that there's always a divine plan. There's always a divine purpose, is just what I heard. And as it says, as above, so below. Okay. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and end that message there. But remember to be safe, and hopefully you let go of whatever it is that the Most High is asking you to let go going into the new year. So that way you can start off fresh. And the key is to kind of start letting go now. So when walking into the new year, you have already let go, so that you are not trying to let go after the new year gets here. Okay. Anyway, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end that there. But if you guys want to visit me over on TikTok, I have additional messages over there. topics that I do. So anyway, I wish you all much love, much light into the next message. Bye.